Joe Rogan was doing one of his podcasts, and there was a highlight clip of him talking about immigration. Now, he specifically made a comment on the separation of children and their parents, which I wanted to zero in on because I think it is very important. And what you're going to be looking at here is Joe Rogan. First of all, I do want to preface by saying that there's obviously been a ton of stuff going on surrounding this issue, whether it be, people being shouted down in restaurants, and because of this separation policy, this no tolerance, zero tolerance policy that has been in place, and we've seen children put in internment camps. It's just purely insane. Let's see what Joe Rogan says.
Children of immigrants being separated from their parents, which I'm 100% with you. It's immoral. It's disgusting. It saddens me that it's even considered an option.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. I don't give a fuck if they broke the law. You don't take parents and kids and separate them.
So now Joe Rogan is correct. I think he misspoke because he said that it doesn't matter what crime, but if you are to commit any serious crime, you are going to go to jail, which is a separation. But the way that crossing the border is treated, by the way, seeking asylum is not illegal. I want to point that out. But crossing the border illegally is treated as a misdemeanor, as it should be. It's not a serious crime. There's no reason to separate the children from the parents. It's, immoral, inhumane, disgusting, morally reprehensible is the best way to put it. And obviously there is a massive, massive fundamental hypocrisy in the idea of the party who is supposedly the party of Jesus and the party of Christianity separating children, when a lot of what Jesus says in the good stuff anyway, because we know he says a lot of crazy shit, but in the good stuff is, treat people. I think there was some verse that says, treat someone who's a visitor as if he was a native born. And so there's a huge hypocrisy there. But it is really disgusting, separating a child from their parents is one of the, I would say, most morally reprehensible things that you can do. Because that separation is a really fucking scary thing. Separating a child, little kids from their own parents is unacceptable, especially when many of them are just trying to seek asylum into the United States. But even if you cross the border, it's normally treated as a misdemeanor, and you're not separated, due to Donald Trump and his zero tolerance policy. He has made it where no matter what, and obviously he had the executive order. There's a lot of conflicts that are going on with that executive order as well, because you have conflicting stuff between the first of all, the language of the executive order is in its very nature, and this is the problem with a lot of executive orders and even sometimes legislation or just deals in general, is the shoddy language, is the very shoddy language. And so, we're going to have to see how that even pans out. But it should be treated as a misdemeanor, and the separation of children from their parents is utterly despicable and just unacceptable, man. Just unacceptable.